This is Mama Lucy, and I know it's been a while since I've done a video, frankly, because I ain't had a lot of good to say, and Mama always said if you ain't got something good to say, you shouldn't say it. But I wanted to come and share with y'all today. My people are hurting, and try to get out there about Gatlinburg and around, and how it come to that devastating fire, if you've seen it on the news, and all about what's been going on here in East Tennessee. And I try not to cry. No promises. So, to understand everything, I want to take you back to July 5th was the last time here, the National Weather Service, and I can attest to this, that we had any kind of meaningful rain here in these East Tennessee mountains. And, and people don't grasp what I might get here. They might not get down the road. I want to back up a minute to give you an idea of where our farm is, our mountain is. We're about 45 minutes from downtown Gatlinburg. So back to July 5th. That was the last time we had any rain, and we had a pretty good spring, wet spring, pretty normal. And then it kind of petered out after that, and after that first week of July, it's like the good Lord turned the faucet off. We got sprinkle here and there, but nothing that meant nothing. For us, by August, you could drive around and see that the pastures and the fields look like they do in February, after everything's dead over the cold and bitter December and January. Things is just dead and crispy, which is not the case here. So that was starting to concern. And another thing is we had just unbelievable heat. We have them days in August here that's up in the 90s and the 100s, but this was like months that were hot, and it was affecting corn because bees don't fly in that hot weather, affecting all kinds of crops to pollinate, and things didn't set. When you start realizing about that time, oh, something's not right and something's going wrong. So for us, about mid-September, I reckon our water catchment tanks started going low, and I just give up watering the herbs here because we haven't. That's what we pretty much do as an herb farm. And then the wildfires started happening all around Tennessee, and I call it the Ring of Fire here in the southeast. It's really Georgia, Tennessee, and our other folk down there in western North Carolina. Things just started, and a lot of it's a human cause. Some of it's been caused by arson. Some of it's just, folk don't think because you flick your cigarette out and you just don't think, because we don't live in a drought like out west. We live in a temperate rainforest. We just don't have that here. So people just don't think. And so it went from there. And if I don't get timelines exactly right, forgive me. But about 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had the biggest fire right here closest to us over there in Townsend, in the Wallen there, the peaceful side of the Smokies. And that was about 1,000 acres. Well, you could climb up on top of here and see that. The smoke for a couple of months now has just been incredible. Been hard on folk with asthma and stuff to be outside. And I'd got my first ever sinus infection from all the smoke. I ain't never had that. I mean, it's just, and the skies are just, I just can't even describe how unreal it's been. It's been like this. At some days, it's like a fog, and it's not a fog, it's smoke. So, the woods here are trying to help you understand how dry it is. When I walk in the woods, the squirrels sound like bears. It's that dry. Those little bitty squirrels sound like bears moving. So all of this was set up for the perfect storm for Monday night there in the Smokies. So about a week ago, I'm not exactly sure, there at Chimney Tops in the park, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park there, started the fire. And for you folks that's come to visit, up there on your way to Newfound Gap, on the Klingman's Dome where you have that beautiful overlook, is the chimneys picnic area. That gives you some idea of where this fire was. You can have a picnic there, and I'm sure you youngins have played on the rocks in the river. It started there, and that was about 500 acres. Well, bless the Forestry Service, they had it contained, and I'm telling you, them boys have just been incredible. And women, excuse me, all of them. But those folks. So Monday night, they've been telling us we're going to get rain. Finally, some rain. But the bad news of that was the winds that would come before it, that they were supposed to gust up to 70 miles per hour. And all day Monday, the smoke was just blown down there on all top of us in Gatlinburg and stuff. And about 5 o'clock, from what I understand, the winds gusted up to 87 miles per hour and blew embers off of them at fire chimneys down into Gatlinburg. Started fires. And then power poles began to fall down, and they sparked fire and started more fires, and it just became an inferno real quick. And so many cabins are in them mountains right there around Gatlinburg that it just took off. And they wasn't no warning. People say, well, why didn't the news tell folks? They wasn't no warning. It was just in an hour that it went from nothing to an inferno. So people couldn't get out. And there was, if you've ever been over our state of the cabin, there's one road in, one road out, like there are so much here. And they just wasn't no getting out. So it burned on through the night. And from personal stories and folk that been there, that I understand that the main part of there at Gatlinburg is all right. The aquarium's all right, and Dollywood's all right, and but the outside is, and the outer layers are not. So many people lost their homes. We still got a lot of missing folks. Last confirmed that 7 dead, but we got rescue teams in there that are still trying to do rescue and not recovery, and that's what we're praying for. That happened Monday night, and we're just so thankful that so much EMS come all over Tennessee to come help. But that's what we do. That's what we do. And but I don't want to leave out the fact. I'm confused as time in my mind right now. But Tuesday night we had a tornado warning. We had one right here, and then a confirmed tornado there in McMinn County. Folk lost their home, and that is Etowah, that way, southwest of there. There's a big Amish folk there that had damage and stuff. And I don't know about fatalities from there. So Tennessee sure has took a beating these last 72 hours. But there's some wonderful stories coming out of Gatlinburg, and I want to tell you that they've asked for physical donations to hold on a minute because we rallied and people took stuff, and they're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed with food because that's what my people do. We feed genuinely, we pray when tragedy strikes. And so if you would like to help, one of the best ways I see is Dolly, we love Miss Dolly, has come out with her My People Fund. And she is going to give $1,000 a month for 6 months to each Sevier County family that lost their home. And that's a lot. We're not real sure on the total at this point, but that's a lot. I mean, I don't even know at this point. So go Google My People Fund by Dolly if you want to give to that. It's probably your best bet. Local feed people, I've heard from several. They're good on water and Gatorade and that kind of thing. But believe it or not, they need undergarments. You don't think about your underwear being gone in the fire, but that's a big need. Now, like right here, in the rain, and we've got unprecedented rain. We got 5 and a third of inches since Monday, and they say that's cut our deficit in half. But over in Gatlinburg, it's just how our terrain is. They got less than an inch, so they still hurting. In the last news conference this morning, they said they had 2 rekindled fire. So we just pray God to send that rain and put all these out. The ground is cracked and it's running off. Please just keep everybody in your prayers, and the safety of the EMS as they take this on. There's some real brave stories coming out of there, and real proud of my people. So thank y'all for listening, and I hope the next video will be a happier one. I'd like to talk about Christmas traditions of these mountains, because that's coming. Christmas is coming. So y'all take care, and God bless you. Thank you.